Wolf 420 here, on my second countdown to Halloween video. Problem being, there was 4 days in the last one, but now there is only 2 days, because it took an entire day to edit the last one. And I mean just edit. Recorded it. Edited it halfway. The first day. But no. It took to another day, full day of editing to get it up. And it didn't even do nothing. It's crazy. But yes. So now we are here again. Ha. For Supernatural Season 13 Episode 2 The Rising Sun. So let's get this on. Well, fucking unfortunately, I edited too long and my video did not get up on Halloween. And, in the intro to this video, I said that was 2 days till Halloween. Well, now it's 2 days after Halloween, and I'm finally filming this video. And, yeah. So, we open the scene with Drexel and some other demons in Crowley's palace. And Drexel's polishing the throne. Another demon's getting drunk, thinking that everybody's gone. And, all of a sudden, the door busts open and a dude in a white suit comes in, looking like Colonel Sanders and shit. And he sits on the throne and says, "I am Asmodeus, the 4th Prince of Hell." And they all, are talking to him, and he says, "We're gonna take hell back to the days of fire and brimstone." And he says, "The corporate lackeys of the Crowley era shall be purged." And he calls forward, 3 demons in the throne room, and then snaps his fingers, and they all choke and explode. And that was crazy. I was like, wow. But also, it was kind of weird because Drexel was kind of funny and Asmodeus was kind of funny and it was kind of neat. I was rather interested. And so we continue over to Sam and Dean driving along with Jack in the back of the car after the events that transpired in the previous episode. They are talking about him and saying they, a bunch of stuff and they think that mom's gone and all this stuff, and they're going along, and finally it cuts away from that and shows where we left off with Mary and Lucifer last week. And they're walking along and eventually they're talking. Lucifer says, "I need you. In a perfect world, I'd kill you and your sons and everything, but this ain't a perfect world. Your sons have my boys, so the only way we're going to see our boys again is if we work together." And she's like, "And do you actually value being a father?" He's like, "You have no idea what I value." And he was kind of funny, and it's kind of weird with him and Mary there is like, is this really like Mary for now or what, man? I don't know. It's crazy, but hey, it's great, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm thinking, okay, that's crazy. Then a fireball flies down and it allows Mary to run away. They get separated, and Lucifer's just like, what was that? You know? And then Mary's walking along, and we cut back to Sam and Dean. It turns out that Dean was hallucinating sheep while he was driving down the road, and they decided to stop at a hotel and get a hotel room, and they decided to ward the room and get it and go to sleep. And Jack sits down and starts watching TV, and turns out on the TV was Scooby-Doo, and Dean hesitated for a minute to turn it off, like maybe I should just let him watch Scooby-Doo, but no, he turns it off. He says, you're sleeping on the couch, and he throws him the Bible and says, read a book. And so they're going along like that. Suddenly, as they're, warding the room and everything, they hear footsteps outside the door, and they pull it open and pull a dude in, throw him on the floor, and they're holding guns on him. It turns out it's Donatello, the prophet from the Darkness season. And it turns out he's got no soul now. But he comes along, and it was a funny scene where they're holding him, and he's like, whoa, there's something new here. And it was funny. I enjoyed that. All this stuff with Donatello and the boys and Jack, it's been hilarious in these past 2 episodes. I'm really enjoying that. It's been a great season, so this is looking to be a good season, I'm thinking. We know Mary's alive, the boys don't, and stuff like that, but we know Mary's alive, and there's gonna be some stuff there somehow, probably, and we're just going along with this, and they're being funny and dramatic at the same time. They're doing like the proper mixture. It's like, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And yeah. So we cut back to the apocalypse world, and Mary is away, and she comes across another hunter in the apocalypse world, and she introduces herself and talks about being a hunter, and he says, like, I doubt that, and there's barely any women left around anyways. Well, it turns out the dude's like a pervy creep, and he starts trying to get rough with her, and then suddenly a fist comes up from his back, through his chest, and it's Lucifer standing there looking all cool, just punched through this dude's chest, and he licks the blood off his hands, and he's like, I just saved you, you need me, and stuff like that. Well, then eventually there's a battalion of angels wearing army clothes, and they're trying to ask Lucifer who he is, and he starts trying to explain himself, and they turn out to be, or they're going to try to smite him, and Lucifer just snaps his fingers, and they all just poof, dead. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like, whoa. Like, whoa. So, turns out another fireball comes along after a little bit. Well, first off, whatever. At some point in the apocalypse world, another fireball comes along, and it turns out it's Michael. And he walks up to Lucifer, and he's like, he's talking about him and how he killed his Lucifer and all this stuff, and then they start fighting, and I was really surprised that our badass Lucifer is now all of a sudden struggling in a fight. I'm like, what the? He took on all those gods that one time, and like, whoa, and now he's struggling against this dude. Michael's a badass. Okay, so they're fighting, and Michael actually subdues him, and then he's like, instead of killing him, he needs him, he thinks. And I'm wondering, Okay, what the fuck? What does Michael need Lucifer for? Whoa. Okay, this is fixing to be an intense plot. Like, whoa. Like, yeah. Well, eventually, we cut back to the boys, and Donatello was talking to Sam, and then all of a sudden, Donatello comes back after Sam and Dean are talking for a while, and they're like, "Oh no! If you're here, then..." He was like, "I was out getting breakfast burritos, extra spicy," and it was like, "Holy shit!" Oh yeah, it was funny earlier when Donatello said he had no soul, and he's like, "So now when I come to a moral crossroad, I'm like, what?" I ask myself, what would Mr. Rogers do? And when I master that, I'm usually good. And, and that's funny. And so, turns out that the Donatello that was just there took Jack to, raise the Shadim, which are creatures too vile for the pit to hold. And I'm like, okay, what are these things now? But luckily, okay, we get there with Donatello and Sam and Dean, and they go on, like, "That's not Donatello, I'm Donatello," and then he's like, "That's not Donatello, I'm Donatello," and so Dean shoots the other Donatello, and it turns out that is the new fourth Prince of Hell, Asmodeus, and it turns out that he is choking them, force choking Sam and Dean and Donatello, and they're like all dying and shit, and then like Jack just pulls up and his eyes turn all his angelic yellow, and he's like, "You're hurting my friends," and he's flaring up and looking like he's about to smite Asmodeus, and Asmodeus vanishes. Good call on Asmodeus's, but that dude's gonna be a problem now. Like, damn. Like, whoa. So, all in all, you know what? I'm just gonna cut ahead here. All in all, I say that it was a really awesome episode. I really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying the mix of comedy and drama. Doing it like they've always had a bit of comedy and drama mixed together. They always have had it, and they've always been really good episodes. And like, it just seems like now this season they're doing a lot more of it. Like comical stuff within the drama, and it's really cool. Like there's that new show, The Orville, and they're actually a comedy, but they actually do a lot of serious drama in with the comedy, and it's really cool. And I'm enjoying that too. And like I said, I'm gonna have to do like videos about everything, but I want to get these supernatural ones up because I want to try to go ahead week for week supernatural reviews, but I got to get caught up. I'm way behind. It took me like 3 days to edit this video. It's going to take me a little bit longer still, but it'll get up, and then I'll do the next one the next chance I can, and then tonight's a new episode, so yeah, I'm going to have to go forward with these and just, yeah. So all in all, Supernatural Season 13, Episode 2, The Rising Sun, was an excellent episode, and yeah, so that'll be that. Everybody be excellent to each other, and have an awesome day, and peace out.